to this week's episode of Solent Sport. Joining me in the studio today, we have Solent's very own tennis captain Yanis Fleming and squash captain Callum Greasley. We will get a rare insight into the various trials and tribulations that being a leader of a university team can bring. But first, what does it actually take to be a strong leader?
Commitment.
Courageous.
Compassion.
Very well organised.
Charismatic.
Reliable.
Humour.
Role model.
Personable.
Easy to contact.
Professionalism. Dedicated.
So first up, guys, you've just heard some of the qualities it takes to be a good captain. Do you think you have any of these and have shown them in this past year, Yanis?
Yeah, I like to think I have. I've definitely been consistent. I've turned up to pretty much every match and training session, and I like to think I know my players and the rest of the squad pretty well.
Yeah, same. I'm pretty dedicated. I've made every match, that sort of thing, and then most training sessions, and I think quite friendly. Everyone gets on. Everyone knows me. Everyone can feel they can talk to me if they want to about anything. So,
why did you become captain? What was the thing that pulled you in?
I mean, tennis has been part of my life for a long time, so I've always shown quite an interest in it, and I think because I'm doing a sports degree, it kind of has suited me to go for this captaincy. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to be captain, but another was because there weren't really many third years left, and I was the only third year from the teams last year that was left, so it just seemed appropriate to make me as captain.
So our captain from last year left, so there wasn't any third team at all really, any third year, in our team this year. So I was the only sort of person that really put my name forward to it, where I could make every match sort of thing, because obviously people struggle on away days and stuff. But yeah, similar sort of things. Squash has been part of my life for a long time, something I was keen to do.
So some sports teams at the university have coaches as well as captains. How much more pressure does this put on you when you don't have a coach?
I would say quite a bit more pressure because especially when you have first year freshers coming in, they might expect a little more from the university. So they think they're going to get coaches and they're going to have high intensity like training and stuff, when really we organise our own training sessions.
Yeah, I agree with that. You've got to be a lot more dedicated without being a coach, due to the fact that you're the one that's got to plan all the sessions, you're the one that's got to sort the teams out every week. It makes it a lot more harder for yourself in terms of trying to be a part of the team as well, because obviously you're part of the team, so you want to be part of the team, and then you've got to try and stand out and be the coach as well. So you're trying to gain the respect of people to be the coach and trying to give them help and sort of individual feedback and stuff, but at the same time still try and be a part of the team without getting dragged into coaching too much.
And how do you think you have improved the club since being captain?
I've tried my best to keep the participation rates relatively high. I would say that what I have done this year is I've made a lot more squad players. So last year we only had 4 players in the team, so we would struggle some matches if people had other commitments. But this year, because I have tried to make a more of a broad squad, we have a lot more players. So I think that's something that I'm proud of.
And Callum, how about you? Have you done anything differently from the previous regime?
I think we concentrate a lot more this year on sort of the fitness aspects of squash, because I think a lot of us agreed last year that we weren't really the same sort of fitness as other clubs around. But I think the last few years at the University of Squash have been like a gradual sort of growth anyway, so I've just sort of continued that and hopefully continue it again next year.
What's been the hardest part of being a captain and playing in the team as well? What challenges does that bring?
I would say my personal challenges have been the introduction of the freshers this year. We haven't had many players brought over from last year, as they were all third years, so we had like a fresh influx of players, so no one knew what to expect. No one had any experience of playing in a university team or turning up to training sessions. So the problem for me was I was working with people that were completely new to the scene, and it was difficult at times because I had to guide them with what to do, and they wasn't quite sure, and they questioned sometimes what I was doing, but that for me was a big challenge.
I think the biggest thing for us probably, or for me personally, was trying to get teams out for away matches, because we struggled immensely to try and do that, say, getting through the tennis players a couple of times, and then when we've got enough players, it's then been having to tell people, oh, you're not needed this week or not this week sort of thing. So it's quite hard in terms of, obviously, as I say, because you want to be a part of the team, but then you've got to be the coach and you've got to pick the teams and everything. You've got to pick the 5 players that turn up. So that's probably the hardest bit, sort of team selection and getting that right.
Is it quite difficult to balance the academic side of the university with your captaincy commitments? Obviously, Yanis, you're a third year, so it's been quite difficult for you.
Yeah, it has been difficult, but I would say that it's helped that I am doing a sports degree, because I've shown a lot more interest in this, and it has helped me throughout my degree, because it's made me see different aspects of coaching and mentoring. But this time of the year, when there's a lot of exams and assignments and my dissertation due in it is very hard to balance it.
And when you do decide to leave your roles, what advice would you pass on to your replacement?
Stay open-minded, because you really don't know what you're going to get, especially with new freshers coming every year. You're going to lose some good players and you're not sure what standard the next players coming in are going to be. But I'd say really just enjoy it. It's a learning curve for sure. Just use it as experience, especially if you're doing a sports degree or you want to be a coach. It is good fun.
Yeah, I'd say make sure you're organised from the start. Don't sort of get behind, especially with no coach. Make sure you've got like sessions planned and stuff. Make sure that they're ready sort of before you get there, so that the players that are there know what they're doing, feel comfortable with it. So I say, enjoy it, because it's an experience. But you've got to be sort of very enthusiastic in the job, sort of doing it as well, because as Yanis said, you don't know what sort of standard of players you're going to get. So if you turn up there sort of very closed-minded, think, oh, I'm going to have 5 really good squash players, then you're probably going to be disappointed. So you've got to be quite open-minded about what standard you've got and then take it on board and work with it.
How does it improve your time at university being a captain?
I think you make a lot more friends. You don't necessarily see eye to eye with everyone, but it is satisfying knowing that, especially when they are new players, new people from university, it is satisfying knowing that you get these 18-year-olds that have just come away from home, and you are helping them through tennis. You're getting them into sport. You're taking them to socials, so they're interacting with other people from the team and other freshers. So it's nice in that way.
Yeah, I'd say it's an enjoyable thing to do. You do gain a bit of respect. I think you feel like you've earned it in a way, sort of thing, and that meet a lot of new people because of it. And then obviously it has the advantages of the social side as well, being the captain. You decide some of the rules and stuff like that, so it helps you out in that way as well.
That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you to Yanis Fleming, Callum Greasley for coming in today. If you have any more questions you would like to ask the pair, please tweet them to @SportsSolent. Next week, we'll be looking at the extreme sports available at the university. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.